Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Brianne Callanan, and I wanted to give you a little bit of insight into something that I'm so excited about, which is the MIRA hormone tracking device that you can use at home. Previously, in my practice, I've always relied on blood work and urine testing for testing hormones, which that was a great option at the time. But the problem is, of course, this is just one snapshot in time, and as women, our hormones change all throughout the menstrual cycle. In addition, when we're going through hormone shifts, such as after the age of 35 and then leading into perimenopause, sometimes our hormones can be fine and we're not symptomatic. And then the next cycle, we're like, whoa, what is going on? What is happening? It's very hallmark of perimenopause. And that can leave us questioning, right? That can leave us questioning whether or not our symptoms are due to our hormones. And with the MIRA hormone tracking device, it really does put a lot of information back into your hands because you're able to track whether or not your symptoms are related to your hormones and identify trends over time. This can be helpful for women who've had maybe a hysterectomy, but you still have your ovaries and you want to know what's going on with your hormones. Maybe your cycles are irregular and you have PCOS, you want to know what's going on. You want to get pregnant, so you need to know when you're ovulating. You have PMS or mood changes, and you have Googled high estrogen symptoms, low estrogen symptoms, and you're thinking, I have symptoms of both, right? So we can look at whether or not your urine testing is showing it's high or it's low, can help guide HRT treatment to see if you need more or need less. It really does give you more of a personalized approach. So in this presentation, I'm going to teach you a little bit about the device. I'm going to give you some options to purchase the device. I'm really excited to share with you a couple different options. And the device is great. It gives you information, it gives you knowledge, but that information and that knowledge is only as good as how we interpret it and how we understand it. So of course, you can work one-on-one with a practitioner. You can book an appointment with me, another practitioner, your OB/GYN, your fertility specialist, anyone who's managing your care. Or another option is you can take my MIRA Hormone Mastery course. And the way I've structured this course is I've priced the course in a way that's you're basically going to get the course for free. And how that works is within the course, I'm going to give you an exclusive 30% off discount code that you can use on the MIRA website to get about 70 to 80% or 70 to $80 off your device. So the course becomes basically free. There is another option. If you're like, I don't want your course, I just want to purchase the device, I will give you both options. There is another discount code. It's not 30%, it's half, it's 15%. But if you don't want the course, you can always use the 15% off code as well. So let's go through the presentation, then I'll share the different options, what the course looks like, different information about the course, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just going to get my video out of the way here so we can see all of the slides. So this is what you get in the kit. You get the device and you get these wands. This is what you're actually going to dip in the urine sample, put it into the machine, and then we're going to see your results over time. You are going to get 20 wands. You don't need to track your hormones when you're on your period because that's going to be where your hormones are at the lowest. So this will give you one cycle of monitoring. And then you don't obviously buy the device again, you just buy additional wands to track cycles over time if you are interested in doing so. Okay, let's get into the material. Okay, so with the Hormone Mastery course, it's going to help you understand what your information is saying. So the same with any biohacking device or any, a glucose monitor or basal body temperature. The information is great, but what do you do with the information? How do you interpret it? How do you read it? How do you identify trends over time? And how do you connect this with your symptoms? And that's where the course is really going to help guide you. This is appropriate for anyone, any stage, whether you have no issues with your menstrual cycle and you just want to learn what's going on, right? You want to understand how your energy changes with your hormones. Maybe you are like, I don't even know what estrogen and progesterone does, and I want to understand all those terms, and I want to know what's the difference between my follicular phase and my luteal phase, and I want to know when I'm ovulating, and I want to know when I'm fertile and when I'm not. So that is a great option for using the MIRA device. Perimenopause is a great option because not only are our hormones very erratic during this stage, it's so disheartening. I will run blood work on patients in perimenopause and it will come back perfect. And I'll say, on this one snapshot, your hormones look great, but I believe you. I believe you that you're having symptoms. I believe you that your mood is all over the place. I believe you that you're anxious and you're not sleeping. And it feels all out of control, and sometimes it's fine and sometimes it's not. And that's where I really like to use this device so that we can better guide our treatment and our insight, because blood work is great. It's all we've had available up to this point in time, but it simply just is one snapshot in time. You can understand your body better. And then, of course, you can learn about hormones at every single stage. I have included videos really for everybody in that course. The course is also going to talk to you about how to use your device. How do you test? What are the protocols? How do you do proper sample collection, troubleshooting common issues? But rest assured, MIRA has amazing customer service and they have a fantastic website. So even if you don't take my course, you're going to be well supported from the MIRA support team. You're not going to run into any technical issues with your device. These at-home devices are really shifting how we are testing hormones. It used to be in the past that we have our blood test, kind of one snapshot in time. We sometimes look at estrogen on day 3 and we look at progesterone a week before your cycle. Just one snapshot in time. We have calendar apps, of course, too. There's mail-in samples where, like the Dutch test, you do a urine test and mail it back in. But the problem is there's delays where maybe you don't have symptoms that cycle on that day that you went. And the Dutch test can take a couple weeks to get back. But when we have these at-home monitoring devices, we're able to get real-time feedback and we can plug in your symptoms. In addition, we can monitor your response to treatment. So, for instance, you have PCOS, and part of the course talks about, it has lectures on PCOS. It says, okay, maybe you use myo-inositol, and I use case studies, and then I show, okay, after we use myo-inositol, how does that change the next cycle? Or for patients who are on hormone replacement therapy, how does taking your hormone replacement therapy change your cycle the following month? On the left-hand side here, if you've ever used the Flow app, you're going to recognize, this is the Flow app. This is like the basic period tracking app. All it really tells us is when your period's coming and how, your cycle was 32 days and then it was 25 days, and it predicts when you're ovulating, but it predicts everybody's ovulating in the middle of the cycle. That's not the reality. Some women will ovulate later, some women will ovulate earlier, and that's really important information to know if you're trying to get pregnant or you're trying not to get pregnant. And part of the mastery course that I put together talks about fertility and when to time intercourse around that spike in LH. And of course, it teaches you as well that spike in LH signifies ovulation. So the MIRA device really does give us a lot more information. Not only does it tell us when your LH surge is happening that triggers ovulation, but then it also looks at progesterone to confirm ovulation. And again, if you're like, whoa, I don't understand those terms, you are going to be an expert by the end of the course. And that's where I think the course really comes into play, because you want to really fully understand this. The course as well will also give us an understanding of how your estrogen and progesterone fluctuates throughout the cycle. It'll show you what normal should look like. It'll pick up any abnormal trends. And then trend analysis is really important, because not only do we want to, especially if you have irregular cycles or you're in perimenopause, it's not just enough to look at one cycle. We really want to do this over 2 to 3 cycles. And when you use the Hormone Mastery course, and you purchase with that exclusive 30% discount code, your MIRA Health device, there's the option, if you choose to sync it into my practitioner portal. And then if we want to review it together with a one-on-one, I get to see your results over time. And then the more detailed information that you take in the course, I also give you a symptom tracker where the more that you can write down your symptoms, this is how I felt, and then we can identify those patterns over time. That's where we can really develop personalized strategies for optimizing your health. Your hormones are interconnected to your health, whether it's your energy, vitality, your mood, your mental health, sleep quality, libido, confidence, focus. There's so many things that your hormones impact that we need to take a look at. How my course works, it's bite-sized learning. So each module comes with text, comes with, there's some downloadable worksheets in there, and each of the videos are about 5 to 15 minutes. Now, there's some core videos, right? Like how to use your cord, how to code, how to use your device. And then there's some specialty videos where I've looked at, okay, if you have PCOS, this one's for you. If you're in perimenopause, this one's for you. If you're on hormone replacement therapy, this one's for you. If you're trying to get pregnant, this one's for you. Basic hormone evaluation. Oh, maybe you have a hormone-based IUD. and you want to understand, are you ovulating or not? Because some women will ovulate on a hormone-based IUD and others will not. That's why some women will have symptoms and others will not. So that's another specialized lecture that comes with case examples. So you can pick and choose what you want to learn about. You can take them all, but overall it will give you a basic understanding of what your results and how to read it. There's worksheets, there's a journal, everything's included in that course for you. With the course, you're going to get a 30% off exclusive discount code for your device. That's valued at $70 to $80 of savings on your first purchase. You can use that code for subsequent purchases to continue to get a discount if you want to buy additional wands to track with additional cycles. If you are like, I don't want the course, that's completely fine. There's a separate discount code that you can get a little bit off your device. It's not the 30%, but you could use that separate code if you don't want to purchase the course. Now, the reason why they are separate, right? So I've had feedback saying, I wish I could just pay one price, get the course and the device all together. The reason I didn't do that, the reason you have to be inconvenienced to order on the MIRA website with this 30% off code is because MIRA has special circumstances where your insurance may cover this device. Or if you have a health spending account, health savings account, you have a health savings card and you want to use that card, you can use it on the MIRA website, whereas you wouldn't be able to use it on my website. So that's why they're kept separate. In addition, if you take the course, you do have the option to get an exclusive price on a 30-minute session with one of my hormone health specialists. So you're going to get that additional add-on if you choose to use it for $75, or you can book a one-on-one consultation with me after you've went through the course and you did some tracking on your own. And if you're ready to take control, you can order your MIRA device today. So step one would be order the Hormone Mastery course. Within the course, you're going to get your 30% off code. Hop on over to the MIRA website, use your code. You can start working through the course or just wait until you get to your device to start working through the course. Option number two, if you don't want to take my course, within this presentation, text notes somewhere, maybe it's going to come via email. I'll send you that other code if you just want to get a discount. You don't want to do the course. That's an option too. So you're going to get instant access to everything. And if you're super interested and keen to get started and keen to go through the course while you wait for your device to come in the mail, that's always an option too. I really wanted to send out this video as soon as possible because I've seen so many patients in my clinical practice who, are really frustrated by their hormones. And it feels like, sometimes it can feel isolating. Sometimes it can feel alone, especially with the mental health piece. Or why do I feel so fatigued? Why do I feel so low energy? Because so many of my patients, they have the motivation, they have the drive, they have like the want. I want to do the exercise. I want to eat healthy. I want to show up for my family. I want to do all the things. I am just not feeling like myself. And if that sounds like you, I really think that you might benefit from considering tracking for a couple cycles to see what's going on. So I'm excited about the device. I hope you found that interesting. And if you have any additional questions, just let us know. We're here to help.